Hello and welcome to the Notary Coach blog. My name is Bill Soroka, and you can learn everything you need to know about me at notarycoach.com. Today's blog, Advice for Authors, 5 Tips for Notary Entrepreneurs. As of this moment, I am the self-published author of 3 best-selling books in the micro-niche industry of the notary public, and I'm working on the 4th with my esteemed colleague, Laura Buer. She's the notary and motivation GOAT, the GOAT, greatest of all time. Once I published my first book, Sign and Thrive, How to Make 6 Figures as a Mobile Notary and Loan Signing Agent, my life and my business changed forever. It has sold over 30,000 copies and rising, and here's what that first book did for me. First, I checked something pretty major off my bucket list. I had dreamed of writing and publishing a book since I was 6 years old. Actually doing it was a priceless contribution to my own esteem and confidence level. Second, having a book that I wrote and published gave me something to talk about, leave behind after meetings, and kick down doors that otherwise would have remained sealed. When done correctly, a book can add credibility to your professionalism faster than any other medium I've found. Third, royalties. Even though the first 2 reasons are enough to justify writing a book, the money ain't bad either, especially when you follow a system. I opted to stay strictly with Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing and a strategic partner, the NNA, and royalties continued to climb well into the 6 figures since original publication in 2019. With peripheral course sales, we're into the 7 figures. Writing and publishing a book makes a difference. If you own a business and you want that business to grow, you should probably write a book. If you're ready, here's 5 pieces of advice for will-be self-published authors. Author tip number 1, be prepared for the journey. Less than 1% of humans publish books. Most of that 1% miss their goal with the book, mainly because they don't publish with a plan or have clarity on their ideal reader. Even with a plan and clarity, writing and publishing a book won't be the end-all be-all. In fact, writing and publishing are kind of just the beginning. Your journey will look something like this. Writing your book, producing your book, which includes editing, formatting, cover design, landing pages, author pages, all that good stuff. Then there's marketing your book, marketing your book, marketing your book, and marketing your book evermore. Truman Capote said it best. A boy has to hustle his book, and it's true. If you don't, no one else will. This is even true with traditional publishing. Author tip number 2, overcome the demons. Your story matters and someone needs to hear it. Also, don't underestimate your expertise. The best advice I got about this was from Brendan Burchard. An expert is just 1 chapter ahead. You don't have to have a doctorate or 50 years of experience in a career before you have something to say about it. The real challenge you will face are the inner critics in your own head. Who do you think you are to write a book about estate planning? No one is going to read a book about notary safety tips. They're all going to laugh at you. Ode to the movie Carrie. I recommend building resilience for these demons from the get-go. Have some daily affirmations that keep you focused on why this book matters and the ideal reader you have in mind to help. Name that reader too. Not today, demon. Sharon needs me to finish this book. When writing my first book, I recited the Man in the Arena speech by Theodore Roosevelt. It's not the critic who counts. Out loud in the shower every morning. My inner critic. Who would read a book about notary stuff? Bonus, you can even name your inner critic. This helps separate truth from negative programming and actually helps me have some fun with mine. I named my inner critic Art after Art Smith in the National Lampoon series. Art is Clark Griswold's father-in-law that is just never satisfied. Those little lights aren't twinkling. You can see a clip of what I mean in the actual blog article at notarycoach.com/blog, or just click the link down below this video. Author tip number 3, don't hold back. Man, your readers are tired of fluff pieces that tease them into buying something. Don't self publish a brochure for your course or product. Give your audience the goods. Show them what you're all about and let them get to know you, maybe like you, and definitely trust you. There are other ways to optimize your book for traffic and sales. Don't dance around content. Make your book so important that your reader carries it around with them and recommends it to friends and colleagues. Author tip number 4, nothing else matters until you write it. I'd have yet another stream of revenue if I got paid for all the conversations I've had with up and coming authors that are designing their book covers, testing font styles for their name, and practicing their autograph, or even evaluating paper thickness before they've even written their book. Nothing else matters until you finish the first draft. Everything else is distraction and resistance. When you find yourself jumping ahead and tinkering with logos, domain names, cover design, gently thank your inner critic for trying to help. Hey, thanks, Art. I appreciate the help, and when I'm ready for the cover, I'll come to you. For now, we write. I was not prepared for the level of resistance and distraction I encountered. That's why it took me 3 years to finish Sign and Thrive. At one point, I even noticed dust bunnies on my baseboards as I was sitting down to write. I got up and cleaned every baseboard and ceiling fan in the house. And anyone who knows me at all knows that's weird. That was resistance. If you really want to prepare and arm yourself for the creative battle, read Stephen Pressfield's book, The War of Art. Author tip number 5, don't reinvent the wheel. Distraction and resistance can show up in other ways too, like, I don't need a training course or coach, I'll YouTube it. Look, I love YouTube education as much as the next guy, but if you spend hours watching videos every day, sorting the good info from the crap, guess what you're not doing? You're not writing, you're not producing, and you're not marketing. On top of that, most of us are high-producing professionals with a business to run. We don't have time to be full-time authors yet. Get dialed into a course, a coaching program, or a community that can be your beacon of light in a very murky industry. Personally, I chose the Self-Publishing School after a referral by Hal Elrod, and I've used the school to publish all 3 of my books. And I've got a link to them and a free webinar in the actual print version of this blog article at notarycoach.com/blog. Now, here are 4 things that I learned at Self-Publishing School that help launch bestsellers every single time. First, readers do judge a book by its cover, so invest in a quality design. 2, have your manuscript edited professionally, and there's different types of editors for that. 3, and this is a critical tip, incorporate additional value to help capture audience emails. This is often called a lead magnet, because booksellers like Amazon do not share their readers' contact information with the authors. So you got to build that list on your own. And 4, use the prescribed launch strategy and collaborate with influencers in your market. I'm such a believer in Self-Publishing School that I held a recent webinar on how to write and publish a book in 90 days with one of their coaches and another best-selling author, Matt Emery. And you can watch that totally free. Just go to notarycoach.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the homepage, and you can actually just watch that replay right there. Even my mom signed up for the school, and she's progressing on her first book right now. I'm so proud of her because she's already written her first chapter. She's already had her first coaching call with her SPS coach, and it's progressing finally. Writing and publishing a book has been among the greatest joys in my life. It happens to be what I love to do, so that certainly helps. But even without that level of joy it brings, writing a nonfiction book packed with value to help others in my niche was one of the best decisions I've made for my business. I know it will be for you as well.